Bolshevism refers to the doctrine and strategy of the followers of Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, 1870–1924. The Bolsheviks, in seizing power and establishing a dictatorship of the proletariat. Beyond that surface definition, it is essential to understand the multidimensional aspects of its ideology and practice, which is both complex and intriguing in its historical context. Vladimir Ilyich Lenin is a prominent figure in the history of communism, born in 1870 and living until 1924. He was the driving force of Bolshevism, a doctrine that significantly influenced the political landscape of the early 20th century. Lenin's influence began to spread far and wide, his ideas igniting the dreams of revolutionaries and fear in the hearts of ruling classes. The Bolsheviks, aptly named from the Russian word for majority, were the core followers of Lenin's ideology. They distinguished themselves from the Mensheviks, termed after the Russian word for minority, marking two competing strains of communism. The divide between these two factions was an ideological chasm, a divide that would define the course of Russian history. The Bolshevik Party was established in 1912, emerging from the tumultuous landscape of the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party, RSDWP. The RSDWP had been a single entity, but the fundamental ideological differences between the Bolshevik and Menshevik factions led to a formal split, resulting in two separate parties. This split was a crucial event, marking the beginning of a political battle that would shape the future of Russia and the world. The Bolsheviks gained their name and identity from the Second Congress of the RSDWP in 1903, a pivotal event in the party's history. It was at this that the Bolsheviks made a significant strategic proposition, arguing that party membership should be restricted to professional revolutionaries. This motion won them a temporary majority on the party's central committee and the editorial board of its newspaper. This was a bold move, and it marked the Bolsheviks' determination to control the party's direction. On the other hand, the Mensheviks, more moderate in their approach, were open to alliances with liberal Russians and favored a gradual path to socialism. This contrasted starkly with the Bolsheviks' aggressive strategy, highlighting the depth of the ideological divide. The driving characteristics of Bolshevism were a commitment to world revolution and a belief in democratic centralism. This Leninist principle meant freedom of discussion, unity of action. However, in practice, it led the way for the dictatorship of Joseph Stalin that followed the Russian Revolution of October 1917. During the First World War, the Bolsheviks hoped for the defeat of Tsarist Russia and the development of an international civil war, while the Mensheviks were divided. In the aftermath of the 1917 revolution, the Bolsheviks became increasingly powerful, transforming Russia's political landscape. By 1918, they changed their name to the Russian Communist Party, signifying their growing influence. In 1925, the party underwent another name change, becoming the All-Union Communist Party, reflecting its broader aim to unite all communist factions under a common banner. This was another step in the consolidation of Bolshevik ideology and power. Finally, in 1952, the party came to be known as the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, a name that would become synonymous with the Cold War and the ideological struggle between capitalism and communism. For their part, the Mensheviks were finally suppressed in 1921. So ended an important chapter in Russian political history, marking the ultimate triumph of the Bolsheviks and the enduring legacy of Lenin's Bolshevism. This rich in history gives us perspective on the ideological struggles that shaped the 20th century and continue to influence world politics today.